Just in between Blackville and Spring Ridge now at Dimby Station with Grayson Gulliver. 500 acre paddock of Buster Sorghum planted in late October. It's just starting to, it's probably about 10 days away from getting sprayed out, maybe more. So harvested, first or second week in March. Yield wise, maybe 5.5 tonne to the hectare around there, maybe 6 tonne to the hectare. But generally it's looking good. It's probably one of the more advanced crops in the area, maybe about 25% of the sorghum, 30% of the sorghum on the plains is sort of at this stage, where the rest is sort of, a month to 6 weeks behind it. Anyway, we'll keep moving on. We're still at Dimby Station. This is a good comparison of planting windows. This crop here on my right is planted about the last week of October, while the crop here on the left is planted about the last week in November, so about 4 weeks apart. This crop is not too bad, but it needs a drink pretty quickly. Heads are a lot smaller than the stuff we were just looking at. Still plenty of heads to push out just yet. So we've got a long way to go. Just at Pine Ridge here at Connemara in a crop of Scorpio planted in late October. It looks pretty good. It's had minimal in-crop rain. A little bit patchy, but geez, the grain size is pretty solid. It's interesting here, there's a bit of a problem at planting where this seed didn't get planted correctly, so it didn't germinate at the same time as what the rest of the field did. It came up in the first rains in December. So it's interesting to see like the 3 to 4 week difference between the two crops side by side like that. And just behind me on the other side, on the northern side of the road, we'll have a look at a little bit of MR43 that's gone in late December. So we'll just duck across the road and have a look at that. So we're across the road now, just looking at the MR43. It's sort of planted late December and hasn't had much rain on it since then. The soil's not cracking yet, but it can't be too far off it. It's about 12 o'clock in the day now, so the plants are starting to stress. It's not terribly hot, probably 30, 32 degrees. This area where we're at now is probably one of the areas that's had the least amount of rain, apart from the Malali sort of Tambar Springs area. It's probably had less rain again, but this is usually a fairly dominant sorghum area, so it's a bit disappointing to see the crop starting to struggle already. Alright, we're about 20-25 k's sort of southwest of Corindi, looking towards Windy Station, I suppose, across towards Blackville in the far distance. See this sorghum here. It's a bit unusual for this area to be probably one of the drier areas on the Liverpool plains. I think I've said that already today. But this sorghum here is quite stressed. It's just trying to throw a head up, so it's probably the worst possible time for it to be as stressed as what it is. And there's maybe 70-75% of the crop in this area at this stage. I'll just jump down and have a look in it. Just walking through the crop, you can see the establishment's probably not as good as what you'd like to hope as well. It's a little bit patchy here and there. the plant itself, you know, for the sake of 2 inches of rain now, would probably still perform okay, but you know, we're quickly running out of time. And for crops that would normally yield, you know, 6-7 tonnes a hectare, you know, this area might be lucky to get a 4 tonne average. Anyway, I'll keep going around towards Blackville and then back towards Spring Ridge. Okay, it's about 2 PM now. I've sort of moved west of Willow Tree. I went down through that area there. It looks pretty much the same, maybe a little better than what it does at Pine Ridge, and probably pretty similar to what it looks like here. The crop could do with a drink, but generally speaking, it's pretty good. They seem to be a little bit more advanced sort of around the Willow Tree area. It had a little bit of early rain there in a few places, so they got the crop in a little bit earlier, so there was a few crops there showing a bit of colour. Where here the crops are planted maybe a little later, so around this Blackville area here there's sort of not a lot of stuff close to harvest yet, but generally speaking, you know, it's a little drier than you'd expect to see it here, but it's not too bad. I'll keep heading along towards Spring Ridge.